I have two questions, a couple of questions. First one is, we live in the diaspora, and I'm sure you've listened to the commentary that the Jews in Israel are doing to the poor Palestinians the same as the Nazis did with the Jews during the Second World War.
Let me begin by saying that if you say the Jews are doing to the Palestinians,
That's what they say.
if somebody says the Jews are doing to the Palestinians what the Nazis did to the Jews in World War II, it's a foolish statement. Number one, Palestinian population is increasing. Palestinian population is not facing genocide. It is facing political oppression. It is facing a lack of independence. But there's a difference between that and genocide, and there's a difference between persecution and annihilation. So to compare the two, and by the way, by saying you can't compare what's happening to the Palestinians to what happened to the Jews during Nazism does not mean you support everything Israel does with regard to Palestine. It just says, folks, let's be serious. The seriousness is that the Palestinian population in general is increasing significantly in number. It's enjoying a whole range of things that were impossible for the Jews. It is facing oppression. And in my own modest views, I wish that we could find a way for a two-state solution. And I wish also, I think that we're foolish to speak of peace. What I speak of in my own work is I want a divorce. Now, why a divorce? A divorce is a different way of looking at the entire thing. Peace presumes you like the other person. Divorce presumes you can't live together. If you divorce, it means you can't sleep in the same bed, you can't share the same house, and you have to give up, in the interest of separating, you have to give up some things that are rightfully yours. You can't have everything. But there's a way to come to an agreement that allows two peoples to separate, and therefore for both of them to live independently of each other without having to interact with each other all the time. That's why I really think, unlike virtually everybody else, that the metaphor should be a metaphor of divorce. Let me give you an interesting example. If you say that sovereignty over the Temple Mount must remain in Jewish hands, and the Palestinians say sovereignty over the Al-Aqsa Mosque must remain in Palestinian hands, you can't come to a solution. But if you were to say something like this, that the Temple Mount and the Western Wall are so holy that no nation, because nation states are imperfect, no nation can have sovereignty. God is sovereign. So let's only discuss who collects the garbage, who provides the electricity, who provides the water, and who provides security. And if you raise those questions, you can solve them. But if you raise the question of sovereignty, the answer is, can't solve it. So there are ways of looking at it differently, but anybody who says that what's happening to the Palestinians is something comparable to what happened to the Jews under Nazism doesn't understand the Holocaust and doesn't understand what's happening between Jews and Palestinians today. They're essentially sprouting foolishness.
And my last question is, of course, we're in Mexico now, and you are a citizen of the United States. People outside the United States, some think that they're kind of tired of thinking that the U.S. is the world's policeman. And the U.S. thinks that they are the ultimate burden of justice. What is your opinion on that?
The U.S. feels very tired of being the world's policeman. But frankly, somebody has to play the role of the world's policeman. And the United States may be the least bad of the players who are playing.
They love it. I think they love it.
Not the least bad.
The least.
Well, I think they love it to be the good guys and be the
United States.
Every place.
The United States may be the least bad. They're also discovering that there are limits to what they can do. We invested a massive amount of men and material, men and women and material, in the war in Iraq, and we didn't succeed. We invested massive amounts in the war in Afghanistan, we didn't succeed. The world should be ashamed that we haven't done anything with regard to Syria. 150,000 people have been killed, more than 2 million refugees, in a country which is fighting each other. Nobody's there to say stop it. The United Nations can't do it. So those of us who really believe that something should have been done are disappointed in the United States because it doesn't want to intervene. But if you ask most American people, America is right now very tired and wants to focus at home and doesn't want to project strength and project the obligation of being the world's policeman. We may come to regret that.
Like in Bosnia, there was a bomb.
Bosnia, the United States, look, when the United States bombed Kosovo, something happened. When the United States intervened in Yugoslavia, something happened. When the United States intervened in Libya, something happened. We may bemoan the fact that America is not going to play this role.
Thank you.